Should I sing a song? I'm gonna sing.
I wanna talk.
Okay. I love sister, she loves me. I love mother, she loves me. I love brother, he loves me. I love daddy, yes, so we. And we are happy family.
Well, Mark, I'm glad you said what you wanted to say before you died.
Look, said, I wanna talk.
I wanna talk.
Okay.
I wanna talk.
I
I wanna
wanna
talk my world away.
Okay, now we're back to the same
I
situation.
wanna talk.
Each one of you have told what you would like to do if tomorrow was your day that you would die and you wouldn't wake up in the morning. And so now,
You
Mama,
didn't talk.
what were you going to do if you knew that tonight was your last night?
Well, I would want to tell everybody that I love them.
Hi.
And tell them that I want them to stay close to the Lord and pray and talk to Him and depend on Him. And tell them to go out to find people and stay active in the church and love each other and stay close together as a family. And I'm sure there's a lot of other things that I want to say. Maybe I come back and visit them.
Oh, you may want to come out and visit him. Well, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? If you were Angel Moroni, you could probably do that.
I love.
No more. Okay, if I were going to die tomorrow,
I love.
I'd probably be thinking tonight, for one thing, about all the things I should be doing that I'm not doing. And first, we're told that in order to be able to come back to our Heavenly Father, we have to obey the commandments. And I know there's things that I'm not doing that I should be doing. One of those things that Heavenly Father told us to do that we're talking about tonight is writing our own journal and keeping a record of our lives. It'd be awful hard if we knew tonight was our last night to avoid talking to everybody else and sit down and write your journal, wouldn't it, to try to catch it up? It'd just take too much time, so it'd be too late to write your journal. You might hurry up and tell somebody something, and you may want to talk on a tape all night or something to let them know, but you would have put it off too long if you haven't already written it. So that's one reason I want to get to work on it right away. Also, there's people that I probably want to apologize to. There's people I want to tell them I love them, and I'd probably say, gee whiz, I wish I'd spent more time with all of you. And I would want to get our affairs in order as far as our house and insurance policies and just all kinds of things that you want to take care of if you knew that tomorrow was the day you were going to be gone and it would be all over. So rather than get to the point of being totally frustrated because it's the last day, that's why we try to plan our lives so that we can do the things that we should be doing now instead of waiting till it's too late. If you just had a fight with somebody that you really like and you got all upset with them and beat them up or something or told them you didn't like them and then you went out on your bicycle and you got hit by a car and didn't live, then I'll bet you when you got to heaven you'd always feel bad that you left that person thinking that you didn't like them anymore. And that person that was left here on earth that heard you say that would feel very bad after you got killed thinking about the fact that he had had bad words with you before you went and that you didn't get to say you're sorry to each other. So when you have a fight with somebody or when you have a disagreement, have problems, it's a good idea to make up real soon do something about it. Make sure you feel good. And because if you just harbor bad feelings, it doesn't make either one of you feel good. It just hurts the life of both persons if that happens. So anyway, Mom has an idea to help us in keeping our journals. And that is, she would like each one of us to take a separate tape, which you have separated, right? Each of us take a cassette tape and sit down and just talk about a few things about our life to start out our tape. And we wanted to try to start that tape tonight. We have some different recorders in the house, and thought maybe we could each go two people at a time to a tape recorder, and one ask the other some questions, and get a few things down on tape to start out their first tape for themselves. And then as far as writing down, if we can, each one of us try to start the habit of writing like Becky is doing once a week or so, and writing down important things in our lives and decisions and feelings and things like that on our journals so that we have it. And then we could take that box that we were talking about in the lesson of throwing things into the box that has something to do with our life to help us construct a journal from the beginning of our lives up till the present. And we over here under the big table, there's a box for each person. And in each of those boxes are pictures and certificates and report cards and all kinds of things that relate to that person. And so you would be in charge of your box. And if you want help in putting together a book of remembrance for yourself, or treasures of truth, or something that you want to call it, if you need help in putting that together, then ask somebody who can help you. Like it, ask me, or ask Mom, or if you're working on the daytime, either one of us are here, and it's one of the little kids, maybe they could ask Becky or Nanny to give them a hand. And if we put a little bit of work every week on our box, maybe a part of family night every week, we put a half hour into working on our pictures and things, working on our albums. I'll bet by the end of this year, by the time 1981 was over with, I'll bet we could all have a real good, organized history of our lives, each one of us. And then it's just a matter of keeping it up from there until you get to be married, and then you keep it together with your husband or wife, and start making the same kind of thing for your own kids. And it's something that you'll always like to have, something that will always make you feel like you're halfway up to date on your life, and like you wouldn't feel too bad about that part of your life if you knew that you were going to die right away. Because then you'd have some of those things done. And you'd have something to give to your kids, or to your friends, or to your parents, or whoever telling you about your life. Don't you think that'd be a good idea? Think that'd be good, Dan?
I guess.
Good use. Becky, wouldn't you like to have something like that to pattern after for your children when you have children? So you'd have something of your own life to offer them so they could read it. Would you like to sit down sometime and go through my life or Mom's life and find out what we did when we were your age? That'd be kind of interesting. It'd be fun to find out how crazy we were, or how smart we were, or all those different things, and find out what we did. Maybe there's some decisions that you need to make, and you think, oh heck, I don't want to ask them, they're too old. They wouldn't remember how they were when they were my age. But if you could go back and find out what we did when we were your age, something like that might help you in making decisions. Anyway, all those things with journals are important. You know, the only reason we have the Bible and the Book of Mormon and the Doctrine and Covenants and the Pearl of Great Price are because somebody wrote it down. They kept a record of those things that happened. The only reason we have history of the United States is because somebody wrote it down. We wouldn't know a thing about it somebody hadn't written it down, because it would have got all jumbled up if people just tried to remember it from father to son and telling stories about it. It would have been a big mess. So it's just a matter of keeping those records, and then we know about those things. Mom, did you have something you wanted to add on journals?
No, I just thought that putting it on the tape, you can put it down immediately, and what I was thinking is each one of us will take one of the younger ones and help them, instead of having it help them write it down, you just have them talk, and we can have their voice recorded and their thoughts. Then later, if you want to, you can write it down. But let's say at least get it down right now, and have them sing songs or tell what they're doing now, their feelings, their goals for the year, and go from there.
Okay, should we do it? Do you think working on maybe a half hour or so each family night on our own things would be a good idea? Think that'd help us all get done? See, we could work together around here, but each person would have their own things in front of them, and each one of those nights we could get a little bit more done on it and help our progress in putting our own records together. And then you can take it in your own room when it's almost complete or whatever and finish it off. Okay, well let's start. We'll get out all of our tapes. Mom's got some here. Have you got them labeled?
No, they're just blank.